Oh, okay.
Okay, we're recording.
Okay. All right, so it's a little past our starting time on the 5th of March, 2026.
Okay.
I'm Scott Holt, chairman of the
Okay,
Nature Reserve Technical Advisory Board.
Hang on a second.
So it's
Yeah.
a little
Whoa,
past our starting time.
Hold up.
I got to listen to myself.
Get some quick feedback.
This is weird.
oh,
Okay, it's just delayed. I muted the YouTube so we don't hear that.
okay.
Oops.
All right, but it's live.
Yeah, it's live.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Like,
sorry, folks. We're calling today's meeting to order. Our first item of business, citizen comments. We don't have any citizens in the audience that want to talk to us. The next item is the Nature Preserve Managers Report. Do that.
are we able to move her thing up?
We
So
can
that
do
she
that if you
doesn't-
want to.
I mean, that way she doesn't have
Yeah,
to
sit there and listen.
listen to that.
Okay, okay with everybody? So the suggestion is to take the nearly
Item
last
E.
item E. Move it up to now. So the presentation by Stephanie Tears, is that right?
Yes.
From the Heart Research Institute, who wants to tell us about oyster restoration and outreach project in the Port Aransas area.
Yeah, thank you. I have a little quick presentation, but basically just want to open up an introduction to the program and hopefully a partnership in Port Aransas, the nature preserve. But tell you guys a little bit about Sinker Shucks in case you aren't aware. The Sinker Shucks is at Heart Research Institute under Dr. Jenny Pollock. Y'all probably worked with her or Terry Palmer. I run the program, the collection of the shell, the partnerships, funding, things like that. We run and pick up shell every day. So we've got 15 restaurants kind of around the coastal bend that I'll get into, but pretty simple. We divert the used oyster shell. Instead of going to the landfill, we put it back in the water and oh, thank you, that works. This photo is a picture of St. Charles Bay, where we've done a large restoration site there. But basically those used oyster shells provide substrate for baby oysters to attach and grow and habitat. I'll kind of get into that too. We've been around since 2009. Dr. Jenny Pollock and Brad Lomax started it. We've collected over 3 million pounds of shell since then and have restored about 45 acres of reef. We do a lot of community outreach, festivals. We're out at Fulton Oyster Fest this weekend, and we go to schools and teach kids, things like that. And we have 2 volunteer events currently over at Goose Island State Park, and those both collect about 400 volunteers on an annual basis. So couple things that we do, collection, like I talked about, we collect shell from around the coastal bend every day. That's our truck and trailer setup right now. Education and outreach, schools, community events, also working with Visit Port Aransas to get a little more involved on this side. We do the curing process of the oyster shell from the restaurant to going back into the bay, and then deployment out to the bays. And then our lab, we're connected to the Coastal Conservation and Restoration and Ecology Lab. They do monitoring and research on those bays and areas that we've restored and potential bays. White oyster reefs matter. They provide habitat for fish, crabs, invertebrates, lots of marine life. Not just oysters. You can pick up a piece of oyster reef and crabs and fish and worms and all kinds of things will jump out of it. And then that feeds into our food web, right, of redfish and trout and things that eat the fish, or sorry, the shrimp and the crabs. Water clarity, oysters can filter 50 gallons of water a day. Stabilizing shorelines, that food web I was talking about, and then just that structure's around for future generations. It's not something that's just here and gone, right? And I love this video of the oysters filtering water. Yes. These are current reefs over in the Rockport area, Copano Bay, Aransas Bay, and St. Charles Bay. Those red ones are going to be a larger restoration, the deeper water, and the blue ones are our community bagging events. Those volunteer events I talked about, and I have some pictures of those. So we're kind of and where this conversation is going, we're kind of secluded up in that Rockport area, but we're looking to expand into different areas around the coastal bend and make partnerships and beneficial areas that may need those oysters or that habitat. So Future Reefs expand beyond the Rockport area, engage more with our local communities, work together. We work with Goose Island State Park, so similar kind of coming down here, hopefully with a nature preserve. There's possible permitting restraints and timing that we would need to look at, how beneficial the shell placement would be, and then the accommodations for a community event. We're hosting sometimes 200, 250, 100 people, depending on if we're doing those community events. So things like parking is something we have to look for, or can we place a bathroom? Is it shaded? Can we get the shell in there? I can show you a little bit more about those. Just this past year, we collected over 370,000 pounds of oyster shell just from here. We returned about 47,000 of it back to the bays through those community restoration events alone. This is just to show kind of where the shell comes from: restaurants, festivals, oyster farms, and partnerships we're working with in San Antonio and Houston. The orange are going to be restaurants, and the yellow are oyster farms. And I'll just show you a list real quick. I've highlighted the ones in yellow that are coming from Port Aransas specifically, just so you guys could kind of see that, including these are some large festivals. Mostly we've got Rockport this weekend, San Antonio, Austin, and downtown that we have those large oyster festivals. And then oyster farms, Clearwater here, we pick up their dead shell, so it doesn't go into the trash. We use it and do something with it. Okay. So there's two types of restoration I was talking about. The left side, you'll see we bag the oyster shell and then put it in to shallower water. As where the barging, we put it out into deeper water and a much more shell, right? So in this sense, I think in our area, this area, the bagging and community event would be a little more attainable in this area, but we could look at barging and
So the ones that you do bagging, is that shoreline reefs?
shoreline. Yeah, this is a good example when the community comes out. We're in, knee deep, waist deep water, putting those reefs out there with the bags. They're all biodegradable bags. Traditionally it was plastic, but we've moved to biodegradable, which has been really great. And just a couple more pictures. The kids come out, they love it. Kind of get their hands dirty and be part of restoration. We also host schools at Goose Island right now. We do a student-only specific day. So it's really great to get the kids out there. They learn a lot, they ask a lot of questions, and then they get to actually be part of that. Just nervous pictures. That's it. Kind of a quick rundown, but more of just an introduction and seeing how we can work together if possible, and if there's need for shell in this area, what that looks like. Thank you. But just kind of opening the door for that conversation and engagement, that if possible, that we can work in this area. And I know we're already working with coastal bays and estuaries over at Kate's Hole, so we're kind of making our way around, but I think hopefully there's some
Justin, can you turn the lights back on?
other opportunity and potential. Any questions?
Yeah,
So-
but
Right.
how do you
Well-
assess an area? I mean, do you come out and assess it first and
Yes.
take a look?
Yes, yeah, the lab team's gonna look for things like, is it muddy? Is there shell already there? Is there dead oysters, live oysters? What's the water inflow? Things like that. What's the energy of the water in that specific area? The shell's gonna wash away. things like that. And I know we kind of talked about the channel and that probably being an issue. So yeah, we'll definitely come scout for in different areas, and then the accommodations, is there parking, how many people can we hold, things like that. Or is it on a smaller scale? Can we get out there by boat? Where we're down to maybe 20, 30 people. Yes, do some initial scouting.
Yeah, that's kind of the thoughts we had when Stephanie emailed Colin and I was on the Piper Channel shoreline of the nature preserve. There's oyster there, so, and it's not as high energy as, I mean, the other option is like right in the channel. They probably grow on the rocks, but not really. It's like super high energy, so, but it couldn't be large scale because we'd be having to boat people over the harbor or island moorings.
Yeah. Sort of a quick history lesson. When I first came, that was some years ago. In the Piper Channel area, all these flats, there were no oysters.
Wow.
There were no oysters there. The only thing there were these monster things that are in deep mud. They're like this long. And you could find a few places you could find these big ones, but there's no oysters. And over the 50 years, you know, there's now oyster reefs everywhere out there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And
Great. It's
I think it's eutrophication,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have any data. But I have a suspicion that's what was allowed oysters to develop out there. And I have mixed feelings about whether oysters are any good out there or not. You know, they weren't there and it's changed things dramatically. But
Yeah.
historically, there weren't oysters out there.
So wouldn't that also be a function of freshwater inflow? I mean, I'm just curious how,
But that would suggest that freshwater inflow is increased.
so is there a lot of more impervious cover?
Yeah.
That it
Mm.
might be coming in now and supporting.
Well, possibly.
Oh, yeah,
For development, yeah.
keeping the salinity
There
down a
are
little
a
bit.
lot of oysters out there now. There's a couple of huge reefs. But they weren't historic, well, in my historical time.
What about places like the UT Marina? They always have kind of oysters growing in there, or is that, you think maybe changed over time? Yeah.
Yeah. So again,
Yeah. Well, they're coming in through the channel, I guess, too.
the
Well,
oyster takes over seagrass going, well, I'm not sure we gained anything.
Right. As seagrass isn't there, but you said that if there's seagrass there, we just leave it alone. Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
You may see gas trans oyster.
We talked about that yesterday.
Uh, Yeah, seems to be a very hot topic. So,
Well, just a good introduction, and we
Yeah.
can definitely, look at different spots or see what's viable, bring the lab out, things like that, but just wanted to see what we could do in Port Aransas, so there's some good opportunity and kind of bring that restoration all the way around with the shells coming from here, and they can come back here.
mhm.
One last question, oysters and their water filtration, do they filtrate contaminants?
I'm not sure about
Or-
contaminants, more of just the water quality and algae and things, but I'm not sure about contaminants exactly.
Okay.
Definitely bring the lab in for that. I can't
I
speak
know there
for
are some
that.
no harvest zones, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say
So
that.
I would imagine that that's a component,
Nueces Bay,
yeah.
because of the zinc, I think, contamination.
I think there are certain heavy metals that maybe,
Certainly the E. coli issue, that's a very small particle and it's still accumulated.
Well, I'm just wondering if they are, as they're accumulating, is it cleaning the environment around it? It might be
Sequestering it,
concentrating
yeah.
it or sequestering it.
Mhm.
Just curious.
And the next Sink or Shucks is May 2nd, right?
May 9th.
Oh, May 9th.
Yeah, we had 2 dates, but we're partnering now with Coastal Basin Estuaries to bring it to Kate's Hole. So we've got
Hmm.
a May 9th at Goose Island and a June 6th at Kate's Hole.
Okay.
And we have a student event on May 2nd. We're bringing some schools out. We've got Seashore and Rockport and Flower Bluff. athletes that are coming out to them, but
Oh, cool.
we'd love to get the Port Aransas school out too.
Yeah. Ocean Week.
Yeah, and if
Like
y'all
you
have
said.
any events that would make sense for us to come to, happy to do that, to have a table and talk
Mhm.
about it and even these restaurants that we collect shell from, I mean, we wouldn't have a program without them, so. And we're working on getting all of them, right? We've got 3, but there's probably about 5 or 7 that we could, that sell oysters that we'd love to get in the program.
Yeah.
Virginia's is our longest running since 2009.
Oh, yeah.
Been collecting shell from them for a long time.
Well, so, Rick is involved with the Port ISD Ocean Week.
Okay.
And that might be I don't know if the total schedule is planned out or,
Yeah, how
Yeah.
about we get in touch with you if we
Yeah,
want.
I have the cards and things.
Okay.
Is that a Girl Scout outing?
at the school, at the elementary school, they, um,
And
they brought back Ocean Week, which was oh, thank you. A program they had
my card is inside.
and has been resurrected the last couple of years where they do ocean themed stuff. I think it's after the STAR testing. Yeah, actually, they're gonna come out to second graders are gonna come to Charlie's pasture. You're gonna help with that, or
Yes.
birding center maybe? I don't know,
Okay,
but
yeah.
well, I guess that's during the STAR testing to get them out of the school. So that they're,
Disruptions.
yeah.
Okay, so any other,
Thank you.
They do not. For us, I'm sure. There could be possible coastal-based missionaries in the future, but I'm not sure.
okay, there are no other questions or comments?
I give another card.
Thanks for coming and talking.
Thank you, sorry. Okay, and that's my cards, you have to
Okay.
get a hold of me or Jenny Pollard and Terry.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to our original
Oh,
schedule here then, which is the nature preserve manager report.
I realized that I forgot to do the roll call. Is that important? Or run through that real quick or?
What that?
yeah.
Just do it
Are we
real quick.
supposed to do that at the beginning of the meeting?
Yeah.
Right? Didn't they? Oh, correct.
I'm just gonna run through the roll call real quick.
I think Christy forgot to do that yesterday too.
Yeah.
Remember?
We're getting very official here.
No,
Justin's wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he signed up for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think this is not working. Okay, so Board Secretary Justin Quintanilla is beginning roll call. First place, Rosario Martinez,
Present.
present. Okay. Place 2 is James Durkett.
Here.
Place 3, Kathleen Swanson, absent. Place 4, Scott Taylor.
Here.
Place 5, Richard Tinnen.
Here.
Place 6, Sonia Nahara.
Present.
And place 7, Scott Holt.
Yep.
And staff liaison Ray Mooney.
Yes, present.
Okay, that concludes roll call.
Good job.
Very good.
So, the ones that are here, that's good. Now, we're finally gonna get to nature preserve manager report.
Yes. Okay, well, we are, moving along with the paddling access, park. Last meeting, we probably said we maybe got the project awarded. We went out for RFQ and we chose, Stantec, engineering firm to work on the project. So they sent me a draft contract this week, so hopefully we'll be under contract soon to get started. So that's for design and permitting for the park. So and Stantec is who we're working with on the Charlie's pasture restoration, and so it's the largely the same team. It's pretty much, yeah, it's the same team, and they're bringing in others from, it's a large company, so a guy, from their Houston office came down, and so they'll pull from their resources as needed from other offices that have more diverse, positions and landscape architecture, all those kinds of things that, different park design people on, onto the project as needed, so. We also were awarded the, Parks and Wildlife, recreational trails grant, and so that, is under design. The design is almost finished, so we'll be going out for, bid for a contractor probably soon. That is where there's a section of, sideboard, the community park trail behind the community park that's only 4 feet wide, and sections of it are broken. So that whole first section is gonna, be redone to 6 feet wide. The sections around the community park that are cracked are gonna get replaced, and then we're going to continue the Paradise Pond connection. It'll go also the other way to Port Street, so there'll be like more of a loop over there. And it'll go from that trail connection over to the pier. Come out over there, so should be really nice. We just went under contract with the Coastal Bend Basin Estuaries Program to work on planning of the property behind the Family Center. So that property is gonna include some uplands that might be utilized for like city projects, like affordable housing or city operations or something. And then probably like towards the center where there are more wetlands, there be some wetland enhancement that'll link in with some of the stormwater. There's that concrete drainage canal that runs back there. So with, the hope that we can do something where some of that water is getting cleaned up, it has more space to alleviate some of the flooding in the area. If it does rain, yeah. Good new alligator pond, I don't know, but so there'll be some public access, some area preserved for green space, and then some area set aside for some kind of development. I think there was some deed restrictions where a certain amount of it needed to be park space. So that's just getting started. I have the draft RFQ right here. I was trying to catch David, but so we're gonna be sending that out to look for a firm to work on that. The Nature Preserve Restore Grant, all of the construction is done on that project. We planted trees, more trees that grant paid for the Thursday before the Whooping Crane Festival over there at the Birding Center behind the new parking lot. So if you go over there, you'll see that. And then this educational signage is still underway. It's yeah, we just kind of had some delays, but hopefully we'll be wrapping that up soon. Let's see what else.
Double check the spelling.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous about it. It's a lot of signs. The Nature Preserve Restoration Grant, so is funded through the KEPRA program with GLO. So that's the open water area behind the pavilion that was created from the blowout. We are kind of just getting started with, they did some surveying already. This will be something we'll probably be talking about more in the future. The rock is still yet to be repaired from the general land office. They are leading that project. And now we're kind of doing this. We had a call today to discuss all of that because they still don't have a permit to replace the rock and repair that. We finished the bulkhead over like 2 years ago. So, and there's,
You're talking about the rock outside the bulkhead or the second blowout?
yeah, beyond the bulkhead. So they needed our bulkhead to be finished,
Rock
Yeah.
revetment area goes all the way.
protecting the whole shoreline.
To fiber tree.
So they needed our bulkhead to be done in order to access their job site. But they're still like, they haven't even submitted their application to Army Corps of Engineers for construction yet, so. But there's a lot of seagrass in the opening now. And, there's,
Behind the bulkhead.
yeah. The whole thing. And, so I just was wondering if like, I just don't know what's gonna happen because like they're closing that off. There's no like immediate impacts right there, but are they gonna run into hurdles because they're gonna like presumably the seagrass will be impacted by no fresh water coming in. So anyway. Like when our surveyors went out to rebuild the trail and the boardwalk, there was no seagrass there, but by the time they built it, there was, you know, or it wasn't as obvious. It was, so. But at the resilience meeting or the Mustang Island Resiliency Plan or whatever meeting we were all at a couple of days ago, it's like looking at 1950s, 70s to present of the conversion of the back of the island. So much tidal flat and marsh are gone and it's all seagrass, you know, and like it's doing good.
Yeah.
In the area and it's
And
converting.
Seagrass, you know, then seagrass kind of stands in the way of saying, we want to do something to preserve the rest of it. It's like,
Yeah,
but you're gonna
Right.
impact seagrass. It's like, if we don't impact seagrass, we're gonna. I mean,
The land
as
is
soon
gonna-
as it is lost, it encroaches. So it's like this,
yeah.
yeah.
Because of the erosion, that's like what, a lot of what we were talking about is, you know, yeah, like Sonia maybe can't put a rock revetment to break the ship waves coming to her property, the Nature Conservancy's property that's eroding away because of the seagrass.
Yeah.
But the rest,
As soon
it's
as it
protecting the
disappears,
seagrass
you
behind
get a
it.
permit to do anything, it's back and it's like, start over.
Yeah,
I keep moving the line,
yeah, so
makes it tough.
I don't know what's gonna happen there, but probably part of a larger discussion that,
We're not
Yeah.
gonna solve it here.
yeah, so, but there's the kind of things that might be coming ahead. And the city also has another, the Kepler GLO program grant to, potentially put rock in front of the bulkhead to help save the bulkhead that's having issues, so. And, David's really, Parsons is, taking the lead on that project and, I was trying to also catch him on an update on that, but, so I don't know, these things are just moving really slow. So, yeah, so those are all our major, big projects going on. If anyone has any questions. As far as programs, a lot of you have seen Karen and Lammy, our preserve host, and her husband Tim helps on the weekends, so they're back from last year. She's out on the trails all the time, educating people, taking photos, bird watching, helping with our programs. She's doing a great job. She's been a huge help. We have our continuing programs, yoga, birding, nature walks, youth birding. We've expanded to middle school. So we have our elementary program and middle school. So we're hoping to have 3 Great Texas Birding Classic teams this year with those kids. Whooping Crane Festival was amazing. The weather was so different from last year. People were so happy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't have to put my ski gear on. They said they probably sold tickets to 1,200 different individuals for all so it's pretty big, yeah. And a lot more tickets than that because some people went on multiple tours and stuff, so. Since Lisa has, well, you know, since her stroke, I got involved with helping with the guides and organizing that, and then continued that, you know, after she passed, and this year helping with that again. So I think I'm I think I'm in probably for the long haul to be continuing that, but I got a lot of positive feedback. It did take, it takes up some time, but I think I want to say that like, I think it did improve and I want to, that helped going to the Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival with them a couple times and getting to meet people and seeing how that's going. Like, I haven't ever been, the only birding festival I'd ever been to is the Whooping Crane Festival. So, but that one is one of the top 3 or 4 in the country. It's huge. So to see how that's running and all these different people and a lot of them wanted to come up here. And so we've added some professional guides to the mix of our local experts. And I think it's working out really good.
Worked out real well.
This year.
Yeah, this year and last year. So,
Oh, like me and Justin and Karen, I got to bird with both of them.
oh yeah,
King Ranch and Karen boat trips.
yeah,
And that's really great people on your staff, very personal and professional,
good.
easy to work with.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, just us being involved too is I think good because we have all this local knowledge to provide information about the sites to people in addition to,
I think Karen enjoyed being on the boat down Caster's Cut because it gave her a whole new perspective. on
Yeah.
Nature Clue. She had never seen it.
yeah, she was very excited.
Time before,
Yeah,
helped her, understand.
yeah, and Justin's got so much knowledge about plants and insects as well, so but yeah, so it's fun for us to also get involved. I did 2 nature walks, so the one Scott normally leads in Sunday morning, that one, and then there was one on Saturday afternoon, and so it's good to be able to talk a little about the site, but then have these other people that are really zeroing in on the birds and able to identify things that were like 2 miles away. So, but yeah, it was good. A lot of good feedback on, everything about the festival, so. People saying they're gonna return, so it's good. So yeah, then the spring, we have a lot of stuff coming up. The City Nature Challenge, that's kind of a worldwide bio blitz. We've been participating in probably 8 or 9 years, but we haven't really, gotten a whole lot of people involved, but the people who are involved are doing a lot. So, it's a good opportunity just to get a lot of, different species observed and documented in iNaturalist. So Justin's just did a social media training with the people who run it, and so hopefully we can get some more interest this year. It's kind of hard, like people who love it, iNaturalist, and then it's hard to get people hooked on it, I guess, because the people who are already out there doing it are out there doing it. So you're like, okay, we have a lot of observations, but it's like the same 40 people that are probably out there all the time. So trying different things to get different people to come out. So we'll see. We can, we're gonna do a program that Saturday too with, I don't know if anyone came it was 2 years ago, I think, Sebastian Keskeres. He's like probably in his early 20s. He's a birder from like, I don't know, near Austin, kind of Georgetown, maybe. And he came out and did a program, and I think we had like 25 people that came, and he's just very excited, unique guy about birding and gets people interested. And so, he's going to come back down and do another program that, Saturday. So we call that Spring Migration with Sebastian. It's, April 25th. Yeah, I met him at a conference. He's like, told us immediately he has Asperger's, and he like memorized the Sibley's Field Guide in like a month when he was like 7 years old. So it's just like, and Justin was laughing because we're at the big sit. He's like, it's a brown pelican, like all excited. So I think everyone really enjoyed birding with him because he's just fun to be around and not like, he's just excited. So I like him. I'm glad he's coming back. And then, yeah, the Great Birding Classic will be in April. We were talking about Sunday, April 26th. Michael never got back with me, but I'll just have to verify that with him. So you guys are welcome to join for that as well. I'll send an email. Habitat management, the CBBP bird biologist started their plover nest monitoring. There's a new seasonal biologist, Marvin. We met him this week. Have you met him yet? I think I did. He's from Florida. He's like a little older. Normally
Yeah.
they're like, straight out of college. So he's like, Brooke took him out once and then he's on his own. So he was out there today. He saw snowy plover scrape. But no, just evidence that they're getting started to nest. So it's good. And then, we're looking to set a hog trap semi-soon. We did see some evidence on Salt Island of, some digging and stuff, so we're working on that with a contractor. And Justin's continuing to monitor invasives, areas where, and treating or removing as needed. So,
I'm gonna take this. Item is a opportunity to make a couple of comments. One,
okay,
at Paradise Pond, in terms of the Brazilian pepper, it seems like there's several fairly large Brazilian peppers in there
is it like if you're on the old boardwalk looking like towards the Porter's old house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we are aware of those.
and went out farther. I mean, there's one looks like it might be, big enough, needs a saw.
Okay. Out in the other direction?
No, same.
Oh, okay,
same
yeah.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah. But, and we'll bring this up when we talk about the new master plan, but there's, I'm of the opinion, it's just my opinion,
Mhm.
that, palm trees are invasive species
Mhm.
and sort of problematic, I
Mhm.
think, in the preserve. And there's a place in the master plan. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but where it lists the plants that we're working on. And I think when we get to that point with the master plans, it's worthwhile to have a discussion, more
Yeah,
in-depth
oh, yeah,
discussion of what the group thinks of palm trees. So
oh, for sure, we need to
there's
add
a
that.
lot of palm trees in there now. That's
Justin has been treating some Mexican fan palms. The sable palms that are Texas sable palms, we haven't been, but the Mexican fan palms we've been pulling and treating. But we can talk more about that more broadly, I guess.
yeah, I think, I don't know where we're gonna get to.
Yeah.
With the
I think-
master plan, but that's
I mean, it's,
somewhere along the line, that's a discussion I think is worth having.
yeah,
Well,
Okay,
I also noticed, and I haven't looked at it all completely,
Mhm. yeah, no,
but there was, like overall blue stems. Was
No.
silent,
Yeah.
and I was like. It-
okay.
yeah,
At least a little bit.
but they weren't mentioned.
I didn't see them mentioned.
I think they are in the list.
Okay, so they were.
Yeah, but I think that's the next. Pretty much the only other thing we have.
Okay,
discussed,
before we
so-
get too distracted then.
Yeah, it's like. we
Any
can
other
get there.
comments? Any other comments about the, it was all my fault for bringing it up.
Oh, good.
Any other comments about the manager's report? Questions?
No, the only thing I was gonna ask, for the nature challenge,
Mhm.
what in particular, like what kind of help would y'all like to see outside of participants?
I guess, well. Spreading the word, yeah, oh yeah, it is the Mustang Island City Nature Challenge also, so. The what?
Is it is the Mustang Island the same as the one in Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah, ours is the entirety of Mustang Island.
I think even the tip of North Padre, like Packery Channel Park.
Yeah, I think when they drew the line, it just kind of ended up in there on accident, but it was created, the area was created before we both worked here. But,
So that's the City Nature Challenge?
Yeah.
That is all the Mustang?
Yeah, and the and offshore waters,
Oh.
like around the island, technically, um. But yeah, we've tried programs associated with that, like, and that's been good, like, I don't know if we're gonna do it again this year, but the mothing. We've had like pretty diverse group of people that come out to that because it's something different. And then also entomologists from A&M or just different people come out, but also it's just even if, it's 5 people, it's a good opportunity to just start cataloging what's out, the nocturnal, or insects or moths that, might be out there. So any ideas for other programs, we could do that weekend. I mean, it's a pretty busy weekend, but just sharing it as well, I guess. We try to get like the kids involved, but then also it's like a smartphone. You're like, do I want kids in nature on a smartphone? Like, I don't even think they should have them. So I'm like, but their parents maybe, then also occasionally see like a random parent that makes like one observation and then they don't do it anymore for the weekend, so it's kind of like a tricky thing, but.
Well, and the reason I also mentioned, because I know a group of parents who are with their teenage sons,
Oh, yeah.
trying to get them more into doing the volunteer work or because, pre-college.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And volunteer hours. And so I could let the group know.
Okay, cool.
I have my own teenage son. And they're often on the beach, either surfing or just being on the beach. So.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
We've said like there's not a lot of observations during the City Nature Challenge on the beach because the people are in the beach aren't like,
When you get Chase Tunnel.
yeah, often like,
PBS
what's
thing.
this,
Yeah.
Beer
exactly.
cans on that.
Yeah, so I'll usually take a walk and catalog some things, but we added a beach walk with Julie Finley during City Nature Challenge, but then she also found it difficult to give her like normal program and then like she's like messing up with the app and so.
Have you approached any of like the science teachers or anything at the school
Mhm.
to see if they're, if they could do some extra credit to encourage
Yeah. A
students?
few years ago, we tried that, but we should try that again because.
And it can not, listen, I'm not real familiar with iNaturalist myself. And so like, I don't know if it's like some quick videos that could show people how to use it, like what the
Mhm.
expectations are. You don't have to be like a scientist, right? I mean, it's like,
Yeah, I think that.
I think there's a barrier to engagement because people are like, I don't know anything, like, I don't know enough
Yeah,
that's out there, and that's really not what it's about.
I think people are also. I think the organizers of this do have that kind
Yeah.
of stuff that they've created already. It's the like Los Angeles or California Academies of Science or something. And San Francisco Museum, I think, that started it. But also I think that this whole like your iPhone is already just telling you what's there is preventing people from using iNet.
Yeah.
But as managers of these parks, we want that stuff cataloged, and then there's this citizen science, they're creating data like
Mhm.
where when you're putting your phone up and it's telling you exactly what flower it is, like it's not being documented anywhere. So I try to tell people like, well, that's great, but if you want to try using iNaturalist, like it's gonna help science, but so
Okay.
anyway. Tricky.
Any other comments about the report? Alright. Thank you for that. So our next, I've got several things under those items for consideration. First one is approval of the minute. So we have minutes from the September 15th meeting. And I was looking at this, I was a little confused because there's 2 sets of minutes. These sound pretty similar. They are exactly the same.
I'm sorry.
So we have the minutes from the September 15th meeting. It says we had scheduled a meeting in December, but that meeting was canceled. So these are the most recent
Yeah.
minutes from our most recent meeting. So does anyone have any comments about the minutes? I will say that they're very detailed, and I think that's very helpful. You know, we can go back and remind ourselves of what we said. We need to. But I don't have any corrections or suggestions for the minutes. Anybody else? So if not, do I hear a motion that we approve the minutes of the September 15th board meeting?
So moved.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The next item. It has to go up somewhere, so this is what shows up. Is the next schedule, the next meeting. And we actually had put in here, looking back at those minutes from the previous
Yeah,
meeting.
June
if I can
11th.
find On the spot.
Yeah, cause we scheduled a year out, so we just,
Right here, so. We had scheduled this meeting. And June 11th. Had
Yeah.
been suggested as a schedule. So I assume we're sticking with that
Okay.
schedule. Anybody
that's so then at June,
see what I
we can
did?
schedule the next year out. Does that sound good to people, or do they wanna do that now?
What's the timeline for your next, for changing it, or adopting the management plan?
There is none,
There's no,
really, just trying to get it done.
okay. Would you like to work for you?
But we'll kind of go through that as we get into that, but we can work on that.
In
Outside of the
between.
meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured,
I don't think we're gonna get much done at the
Kinda,
meeting.
right.
Work on it
get the ball
Somehow.
rolling today and then.
outside of.
And I think that well. I don't remember who, but 3 or 4 of you guys are up. This summer, so I think that happens in July, so. It's perfect to meet. Before that, and then. The next meeting, we would be swearing in. The board again. Feels like that happens like. Very frequently. Cause we're not meeting so frequently, I guess.
So we'll put
Okay,
June 11th, I mean, that was already scheduled, we'll put that on the.
Okay.
As our next meeting, and at that meeting, we'll come up with the next. Whatever it is, 6 months or year
Okay.
suggestions. I mean, it seems to be working, that's what, quarterly?
yeah,
Good. It
Yeah.
seems to
I
be
think it's good.
often than that. Okay. Then there was an item here that David, Newstead was gonna come and talk to us about a CBP plan or management plan, but I understand that's not happening.
Yeah, so they were looking to do a pilot project, and they're thinking though they would probably do it if they can get this worked out over there at Packery Flats, closer to town, and then, he figured then if they are able to get this project done, and they have some data and some information and want to expand it out here, they'll come talk to us about it when they have some more information. But basically, they were gonna be putting in some kind of like, deterrent, like fake eggs that make the coyotes maybe a little sick, and then they won't go back to the eggs and eat the real plover eggs, maybe. So that's my understanding, but anyway, if they end up doing it down there, and they want to expand it, they'll come talk to us before that.
Okay.
Okay.
We've already talked about oyster restoration. So our last item, and we have more or less an hour to to devote to this if we want to or need to, is to talk about the master plan. And so the revision of the master plan is underway. I mean, you gave us a couple of links and there's been a lot of work that's been done on it. I looked and yeah, so Justin showing us on the screen back there what that.
Yeah, we figured we'd bring it up and then,
So I didn't go, way down through it, see all of what had been done, but there's been a lot of work.
Ray, do you want me to give you the mouse so you can scroll through?
will it work from all the way over here?
So,
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, so Justin and I have both gone through this. I mean, some sections we've just added like notes of what we'd like to expand on or what we need to add in, that kind of thing. Another thing we talked about is kind of restructuring it a little bit differently. So the way it was written before, we have this introduction and history, and then overall, the soil, the flora, the fauna, and then it gets into scientific programs and stewardship, and then talks about education and outreach and all this stuff. And then at the end, it's got a chapter per site. Here's, Charlie's Pasture, Jonah and Scott Holt. So, and I found myself revising it up here at the history. I'm like putting in all this information about all that's happened. I mean, this was written right at it feels like right after Harvey, but it was 2 years after that we finalized it. But we built so much stuff and everything's kind of connected and all this. So I was thinking of taking all that information about the sites and moving it up to the top. Like, here's our intro, here's the history of how this all came about. Here's our sites, here's a map. We have these kind of public access things at each site. And kind of having that more and I can show you like how it's set up now, but having that all at the front, like here's the intro, this is everything that we have. And then expanding the stewardship and invasive species management and stuff like that to be its own chapter, because inside each site, the way it's written now, it has a section on conservation, management actions, and a lot of that is the same. Like, I mean, it's kind of specific. It's like, kill the tallow trees at Paradise Pond, but like, that's largely kind of all been done at this point. Now we're just like going back like every quarter, looking at sites and treating them or trying to get more funding to do a larger scale thing. But also each site kind of has its own problems, but it also has the same problems. So having that all just in our land management and stewardship section, kind of after we intro each site, and then it wouldn't be so repetitive. Because the invasive species management is the same for every site, really. You're looking for the species we know that are an issue and you're treating them and removing them. But it just seemed like real repetitive. So that's kind of, and then also
Maybe a way, or there's a need, I think, maybe a way to have the general management activities covered the way you're talking, but there may be some specific needs at the individual sites that
you can mention. Yeah. And that's kind of too what we were saying is
and then refer back to.
or these are specific issues we definitely need to keep an eye on at this site, but look into the chapter 3 or whatever to see how you do that or whatever, what our policies are.
So something about.
Yeah. Yeah, so keeping some of that site specific stuff in there, but not kind of repeating it all. And then adding in all this all the methods that we've learned work the best, having an appendix on that, which herbicides, the mixes that we have been using. Because we've kind of found what works best on some things not, but yeah, because I think the
So
invasive,
have you restructured the?
we just were kind of suggesting to
thinking
do
about
that. Yeah, because then basically we would need to kind of move the whole thing around. But I'll show you kind of what I mean is,
Sounds like a good thing, to make it easier to read and get yourself immersed into what
yeah,
the overall flavor is, and then specifics for different sites.
yeah, it's good to look at it again because, you know, of course, the first time it was written from scratch.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Losing, maybe if I put my hand up here, it works better. Yeah, so like the beginning, we've just, you know, made some edits that are nothing like groundbreaking.
Oh, one thing, are you gonna update your maps? So
Yeah,
that you could also include that really southern piece?
yeah, we have, some info here about to add the new properties. I expanded the history a little bit and then I might do more because I've gone on a couple deep dives. So, but just so it's there, doesn't get lost. I think we just kind of reworded that. But let me get to the part that this is just your general info. So yeah, scientific programs, it's this one. Yeah, so here is really short on the stewardship and land management. But, and then adding, you know, now we're potentially going to be restoring some land that was lost. So adding some information on that. And then another thing that keeps coming up is pond management. You know, is the pond at the birding center getting shallower? What can we do about that? Why is that happening? Same with Paradise Pond. So I don't know if we're gonna come up with like a really good policy at this point or a plan, but some information on that. So it's in here in case we want to take an excavator and
Yeah, but I think we're gonna do something in 20 years, it's gonna be gone.
Mhm. So that was something that was missing. Yeah, and then here's the invasive. So I don't know if here is where so here is where they have all the plants. So we could talk about the palm trees and stuff now too. So we have our pepper tree, white lead, Chinese tallow. So I don't know, cattails are a native plant. I don't know if they maybe need to go somewhere else.
I think it's part of the management, right, but not
Yeah.
the invasive section.
Yeah, it's not in
Yeah.
this, it's,
Yeah, that's what I-
I
yeah,
don't know if they're still trying to do it, and some of you may have a better feeling about this, but for a while I was understanding that we were trying to get the wording of non-native
yeah,
invasives
yeah,
and native aggressive.
right,
as,
yeah,
You know,
yeah, so maybe,
I think that's in
a
there
native
somewhere.
aggressive is still a problem.
yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
sandbirds.
Yeah.
Still a problem.
yeah, so maybe just putting that in an area where we do manage this native aggressive species.
Sunflower.
Okay, so here the King KR blue stem, it was labeled as watch list, but I put other invasive plants because it's not like, you know, I don't
Maybe
know.
change KR just to Old World so that it includes Clayburg and then the other weird
Oh, yeah.
hybrids, so yeah.
So, but we could,
I don't know if you would include Bermuda grass too.
That's, yeah, probably.
St. Augustine. coming in from every direction. Yeah,
Except
so
my
we,
yard where it's all dead. but-
oh, yeah, I know. That's true. Right now, it's not so bad. But, well, we could also add some more information just in general about the invasive grasses, because we got plenty of information on them. It doesn't need to be just in this watch list. I mean, salt cedar is like a known invasive. It's just not that bad here. Like, there's a couple here and there. So for some, whatever reason on the island, like in Port A, it's just not as terrible as other things. So we'll expand the grasses. And then, and then putting an appendix on the specific methods that we're using for these. So, because right now it's only the Brazilian pepper tree control plan that was written a very long time ago.
Yeah, so that was the place, that's my comment a while ago, that
The palms.
trees, if
Yeah,
whatever process we go through to tweak this plant this.
I guess, Justin, you can add comments. You have the in there too, but go ahead.
At some point, somehow, it'd be nice to have a group have a discussion about palm trees,
So,
whether they should go in there and what would you say or do about them.
so are you, suggesting all palm trees be removed from the nature preserve? Or just non-native, like if there's a sable palm?
Well, sable palm is, yeah, I mean, that's.
Cause they don't grow as fast and they're not popping up
It
everywhere.
may or may not be really historically native here,
Yeah,
but it's at least, you know, a plant that's native in Texas.
Yeah.
They were restored to the Nueces River,
Mhm.
so, I
So
mean,
there-
We
We
still
still don't
words
wanna-
would be dropping the.
We don't recreate Sable Palm Sanctuary in Paradise Pond,
yeah.
but all the other,
got a girl from Brownsville here.
but non-native palms, it just seems
Yeah.
to me, just, there's no what. No
Yeah.
place for them in the nature reserve.
Justin has been spraying those. Some people are like, oh, the palm tree is dying. He's like, oh, wow, how did that happen?
How'd that happen?
So,
Yeah, well, but I was noticing, the other day, it's getting to the point that at some point, you know, it may look like this sort of destruction we had when we were getting rid of the pepper tree.
mhm.
People go, oh, they're destroying the
Yeah.
pond again, you know, if you get rid of a plant at a time early on, and
Yeah.
nobody notices, but once you get a big pond grow established, so then,
Yeah.
so you can kill them all. again.
Yeah, if there's a lot of sables popping up too, maybe you remove you pull the little ones.
You know,
Yeah, thin them out. Yeah, for sure. Okay,
You're turning out to be a non-native.
well, yeah, the Mexican fan palms are very invasive. I mean, they're just popping up everywhere. They grow super fast. They're a ton of seeds. There's one growing in the storm drain over here, but
I had one growing
it's
out
gonna,
the drain hole in my boat,
oh my gosh,
because the seeds fall in my boat. And then when it rains, you know, when I don't go fishing enough, I don't clean it out.
yeah, that is crazy.
It's like this little green thing, it's like, this is that, a little palm tree,
Yeah,
glad I caught it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard to keep up with.
yeah,
But again, I'm afraid that if we don't make it an aggressive
Mhm.
policy, that pretty soon,
Yeah.
okay, now we gotta cut down a big section of it.
yeah, that's true.
Of the,
So are they preventing other trees from growing?
well, I think I guess two things. One, I think they will, if you get a big, you know, mass of them, you know, that's what you're gonna have is a.
Cause some habitat is nice,
Yeah.
even if it's not native. I mean, if there's nothing for critters to gather around at all, then isn't that worse than having a plant that's come in from another place?
And
So I say,
it would be occupied, I mean, we would be reforested with something that is native.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're talking
So-
specifically at
Paradise Pond.
Yes.
It's really the only place
There
that,
are tons of other, yeah.
I mean, at the birding center along the shoreline, there are some of the Washingtonia Mexican fan palms. But we haven't,
I'm just not a purist, so.
yeah,
Well, like
We just-
Washingtonians in town, they do provide roosting sites for Lazuras and, yellow
yeah,
bats and things like that, but like in the nature pond,
Yeah. the
I
pond,
mean, it
that's
is
tough.
occupying space that a native tree
Could
or
be.
shrub or something could occupy instead.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any voids, if you take it out, it's not gonna be empty space there, at least
Yeah.
not for very long.
Right, yeah, I see that at Paradise Pond. I was thinking, I spent a lot of time on the trails.
Yeah.
out, where there are just big gaps in anything, so.
yeah.
Yeah. Agree out there.
But I think
Sometimes something is better than nothing.
Mhm. Yeah, like we kept them over there, but south of the board or the birding center. We planted a lot of trees there, the trail connection. We were kind of wanting to create another little wooded area, keeping those areas in specific spots. But we kept some palm trees over there because there was like nothing, but they are,
They're so prolific, it won't be long.
yeah.
That's what'll be there.
Mhm.
It'll be.
But those trees we've planted now are getting huge. Like the hackberries and the
Management stuff.
mulberries over there. So,
I think that's the point.
yeah,
That's the point.
there's like two big ones over there. Okay.
And at some point, you guys, well, it's time for them to go.
Mhm.
Got a lot of other stuff here we don't need, non-native.
Well, and then, or you have a freeze and they're just like falling over. Because they're not gonna make it.
Carve a totem pole out of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, another,
As we work through this, I think this is a place to put
yeah,
whatever the group decides is appropriate management wording for palm trees. I think it needs to be.
yeah,
As far as I know, there's no mention of palm trees in the
yeah.
plan.
Let me ask, like, how deep do you want to dive into the master plan? Because I guess when I think of a master plan, I think of like an overarching, fairly high level
Mhm.
that can then direct to like an invasive
Yeah,
plant management plan. Like that points to others that are shorter, more succinct, and maybe updated more frequently. Thinking, does that make sense?
We had the same discussion when we put the
I know.
first one together.
This thing is incredibly detailed.
What is does the master plan have, the detail?
What's in it or something?
I mean, because I think of that as the all-inclusive plan, right? Like. The master is just kind of the guiding document that kind of
Mhm.
See all the pieces.
provides
fit
the
together.
framework.
Oh, do you
Yeah.
have any other sort of, what, I guess. You might call the technical documents? Oh,
Right, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you could fragment off of that, the master plan references the invasive or, invasive plant monitoring and reduction plan, right? Like it can reference other plans that are subsets of that.
Yeah,
And I
so
just think-
there was like,
The digestibility of it, but
Right.
in the reading and also the management of the document where.
yeah, it's hard to
History
read.
might not change, it's just gonna be updated, right? You're not gonna
Mhm.
change history, you're gonna update it, so
Yeah,
just thinking of.
I wonder if you shouldn't keep the master plan and then have addendums, or,
there,
now the master plan stays at the back, and then you have all the new editions of it. But you don't lose all that. I don't know, I just wondered. Might be easier.
yeah, I think this was supposed to be looked at every year and then like a full revision every 5 years. Now we're on year 6
but I think your point's well taken, that the overall plan for the nature preserve probably hasn't changed.
yeah, It's just
No,
like
Right, it's just the
different,
subsection.
It's the details of what you're doing to accomplish that have
Mhm.
changed. What you've
yeah,
done
the sites have
changes.
changed. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
it's a substantial reconfiguration.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many pages this is, but from what you're.
60 or 66.
I mean, there's like
Yeah.
15 appendices.
You're saying a master plan
But
might
like,
be.
you know, I just think of things you could carve out, like, you know, the
Yeah.
history again. You know, once documented, unless new information becomes available that's ancient, you're not gonna update the
Yeah,
past, you're just gonna add new history, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
add new, you know, recent happenings.
right.
So that's easy. But it makes it digestible. It's like, oh, I need to update the history and get approval. Can we sign up on that? We're trying to do all of it, right? So I just think about the execution of moving it forward. It's like, okay, I want y'all to approve this addendum change, right?
Mhm.
Like just to the history. Oh, yeah, we agree with that. And then that part's done. It just makes it a little more
Yeah,
digestible, I guess. And
yeah, the section by section,
yeah,
I guess, because I was gonna kind of rework the whole thing.
just a suggestion.
Yeah, no, but I think why this is like so detailed too is like Colleen was always getting a lot of like criticism of maybe what, because you know, once the city had nature preserve manager and started, you know, maybe doing some more management or, you know, these things, like she needed something to fall back on. Like this has been approved. We have a technical advisory board, and that's why this board was formed that helped with these decisions. So, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. But
So-
that sounds like it would be a substantial job to revise this and pull out, you know, the.
I think it's all there.
Yeah,
I think it's just the structure of it.
Yeah,
If
'cause I was
everything
having a
walks
hard
in
time.
there, it's just like. Yeah, taking. Like the management practices, like this is the master plan. I
yeah,
don't know that it needs to be any more developed out
yeah,
or any more lengthy. Cause it's got good substance and then it dives down into the weeds, right?
yeah,
And I'm just saying, pull the weeds out and let
Yeah.
those stand alone as addendums and just say, add something to that says, topics will be managed according to appropriate addendum, see below,
mhm,
addendum A, whatever that is. And then that stands alone so that when you're ready to edit that one, you don't have to worry about this one. And you don't have to worry about the 7 others. It's like, we're
Right.
gonna update this one.
yeah,
And it just makes it, again,
yeah, I
makes
like
that
that,
process.
cause it's,
Yeah, a little easier.
yeah,
focus.
I think it's good, cause it's a lot of detail. I was gonna go to the site sections, because that's where I think we can delete a bunch of stuff too, it's like,
Yeah. Cause I agree with what you said earlier. I think the management practices. There's no real significant changes. other
Yeah.
than Not in plant communities. It's gonna be use patterns, right?
mhm,
Like the use of Charlie's pasture versus, the. Wetland park versus,
yeah,
the new kayak place. Those are gonna have different uses, but
mhm,
from a invasive species management.
yeah.
Pretty much the same plants, right?
Right, you just, yeah, when you see them, you remove them and
Yeah.
you can put it in there too, or other emerging invasive plants. But yeah, there's like a lot of detail about exact programs and what future programs, like, I mean, do we need that in there?
That's not master plan.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, that's-
I mean, I know it was a lot of goals of what Colleen wanted to do, because it's like she started that position and then was really sidetracked by Hurricane Harvey, and she has a curriculum and instruction and marine science degree, so she wanted to do all this programming and, it was derailed. So those were goals of that, like, maybe it's just more broad, like, we will work on programming to reach the public and not like a table
Right,
of,
and even something like programming, I mean, that's gonna change based on your staffing,
Yeah.
if you've got a vacant position like that. Like that I think needs to just be vague, like the types of programs,
We
like
will offer it, yeah,
Right.
because,
not
There was a
not
reference
the
to it.
dates and times.
yeah.
It's like the
Yeah, with
types,
the reference
like,
Yeah.
to the detailed plans you're gonna do.
yeah,
This says to like continuing to help support and keep like some of these long-term programs going. Great Texas Birding Classic, Christmas bird count. I mean, that I think, that's just good to continue these programs and mention that. So, and then, oh yeah, this had this. Wait. What does this say? Existing and future educational, okay. I was suggesting to remove this. I mean, we're about to put like 50 signs out there and I'm like, oh my God. First I said, this needs to be updated a lot. And then I was like, can we just remove this?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the city small.
That could be something where like provide adequate signage.
yeah, on
In the
interpretive,
master plan level.
Yeah.
That's the,
Okay.
Does the city have an AI policy yet?
no,
I'm just curious. I'd love to plug this in. and
Yeah.
just Be like, here's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Please spit it back out at me in 12 seconds.
revamp.
Yeah.
And then it has educational programming and recreation separated. And then I felt like some of these things were overlapping and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. So,
You
oh,
have to list all that detail.
well, I don't think we do. I think it was just like it was, I think these were, goals for Colleen because things were just kind of getting started and there was nothing on paper and nothing was,
Pretty well satisfied a lot of it, cool.
yeah.
That was one of the major, what's the word, requirements for the new, nature preserve manager,
To do the plan.
was to do. a
Master plan.
We did,
Yeah, so I think she wanted to have,
That was sort of one of the main jobs that,
Mhm.
Well,
I think it's good because she wanted to have all her ideas and goals in there,
it just dawned on me, I think why I'm thinking of the restructure the way I am is we have lots of master plans, like at our park, we have an interpretive master plan, which deals with the
Yeah.
education, so we've already fragmented all of ours, right?
Mhm.
I think it's just nomenclature to call things a master plan, just because it makes it sound fancy, but that just makes, to me, it just makes sense to have, it's like, well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about, responsible recreational opportunities, compatible use for a certain area? That can have its own,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have to go into significant detail, especially if not gonna be compatible with ATV riding,
Mhm.
what have you, so. Yeah,
Okay,
I lost my own train of thought.
yeah, no, but yeah,
I
so,
mean, we have the same thing, like we have, the base, the master plans, and then as we update them. We don't look at the master plan again, we'll just like, what's changed, and that's what's added.
Mhm.
And then, you need justification or whatever, you reference the master plan, because it's in there.
Yeah.
But we're in this era, or we're dealing with this issue, and so that's why we're written this stuff.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, I just think it's a little bit more digestible and just. And more current, because I mean, really, before you all start your day or a new project, you pull this off the shelf. And you're looking at that section and reading, or no, you're responding to something.
Yeah.
And you want this to at least be. You don't, well, I don't know, maybe, but I don't know how many people have come back and read this whole thing. In the city.
but you still need this somewhere in the plan and the appendix or the technical guidance. The kind of thing that Ray or somebody can fall back to, well, this is
Yeah.
what the plan says we're gonna do. And
Right.
it's been vetted by the group and, so it needs to be in there somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah,
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 But not necessarily all in one huge document that
right,
you have to have an hour to find it.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's,
in a
yeah,
paragraph with no.
Do you do that by site,
uh,
plan for Perilous Bond?
Oh.
For the nature, for the Marine Center and a
Well, I don't,
new 33 acres.
Well, that's kind of what
it's,
within there,
yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying, more to put it all, more, have it more, well, I'll pull up the. Because, you know, a lot of the things are the same, you know, so,
Yeah, we already use like invasive or non-native plant management.
yeah,
It's gonna be the same program for each site, pretty much.
right, so that's why,
Rick was saying too, just because. Like, because I think of the nature preserve and I think of Charlie's pasture, right? I don't think of all the other properties. That are managed
Get to
underneath the nature preserve
umbrella.
umbrella, yeah, so.
Oh, you were not. You were not on the board when we did this, right? No. No,
No,
I was on the board and that was a huge conversation.
yeah,
Or what are we gonna call this? The nature preserve, Port Aransas Nature Preserve System, and then we went back and forth, but. The goal was to get all of the birding sites like under the. The name of the nature preserve, like,
Yeah.
you know, making. Because there's this nature preserve manager and they're all falling under that umbrella,
like the
yeah.
city understood who
Yeah.
and do what.
Right.
But yeah, it is a little bit,
Charlie's pasture.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
but,
Okay.
it is a little bit. Yeah, it's still people don't see the
We need to make a
connections.
note of the managed plant, like invasive species, this is our general invasive species plan.
Mhm.
And there'll be site-specific additions. If you go to section A for Paradise Pond, you go to section D for the new
Yeah.
33 acres. And you got your umbrella statement, but
Yeah,
if there's something specifically you're gonna do with 33 acres or Paradise Pond.
mention it in their
that
section,
Appendix, you can, you know.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the management plan in addition to this site, at the
Yeah.
site.
so that's what I was thinking if. Of changing, so here we go into each site has its own chapter, so. Well, having a map of the whole system, because everything's kind of connected now, and then breaking down into each individual site, so like. We have our description of Charlie's pasture, so this is where, then it goes into like. Management goals in this site, like, some of it's very. Some of it's real repetitive with each one.
Right.
But leaving there maybe something that's specific to that site. And then referring to the management section. So that's kind of like what we've been saying. That's what I was thinking. And then again, removing this, cause like infrastructure, but then it's talking about like, you know, trash cans and stuff. So. We have an inventory of everything. So, but, you know, we have, in the description can be like. This site offers these hike and bike trails or whatever, like pavilions, you know. And the map will show that, so. Because,
Yeah.
you know, part of,
I would break out stuff like that into like a. Maintenance plan, right?
right, I was gonna say it's more related to maintenance.
That way, is that something?
Okay, that's a good idea.
Each.
Yeah, but
Facilities and maintenance, yeah,
the reason it wound up in here was trying to figure out at that time,
Yeah.
what do we have?
We got-
What do we need to do?
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a totally different time now.
We still need to do that,
Right.
but not necessarily.
Cause you're not
in
gonna
one
carry
big
a 60-page
document.
binder out there and be like, oh. What needs to be done here? Let me
Yeah.
write that in this tiny note. Get approval to. Update it.
Yeah, so maybe there's. Your facilities, maintenance. You know, land management. I like it.
Yeah.
And then this is talking about, you know, access, which this could be kind of like. Just up where we're showing a map of the whole thing.
You know, something we could do if we're willing. Is have we could have a workshop
Mhm.
as opposed to a structured meeting.
Yeah,
If we wanted to do that, to try to help, just have a 2 or 3 hour, 4 hour workshop. Find some time where everybody get together. And we can try to work through these sorts of details, and I think your suggestions are really good.
mhm.
Of, you know, things that might break out
Yeah.
into different pieces. Instead of just Say, well, Ray, go do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ray, what would you prefer?
That sounds good.
A little more, assistance if people are
Mhm.
interested and willing to do a workshop is much better,
Yeah,
sit around that table down there with, some notes instead of sitting here.
yeah.
Seems like we're all thinking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Kind of condensing it down and making it
Mhm.
a general overview that takes care of most of the stuff and then specific for each
Yeah.
site, which would shorten everything.
We're not trying to think of doing that in the next couple of months. I don't know if you're,
Before the June meeting?
Having
What's
a,
your deadline? Do you have a deadline?
no one's really
Yeah, I don't
mentioned this to me.
I
I
don't think
just,
there's- I don't think there really is a deadline.
like there was a time to,
Like the parks,
Yeah.
yeah,
the
Someone
parks
just
master
said-
plan, it has to be updated and to get grants, you gotta have
Yeah.
everything done.
yeah, it's different.
This one is just, this is a working document to try to help.
Does this document help you with grants? The, what makes her management?
Well, you can always reference it, like, especially with the yes, pepper tree stuff, or, but like that, this is a council approved grant, but, or I mean, a council approved document, but the open space master plan for anything that, we want to build, that's really where that needs to be, like, our goals are in this plan to add paddling access or, do these big things. So. But having a plan to reference helps with everything. So, okay, well. Yeah, I don't know, most of this just, it's like each site has, like Paradise Pond has this huge history of all that's happened. With the power lines being cut and the land being cleared, it was a lot of trauma for everyone, so. I don't know, like. I mean, it's good information, I don't know if it
May not need to
If
be.
it needs to be there. Yeah.
So, if we look at trying to plan something like this maybe in May.
Okay.
Or even in lieu of the meeting, but I think maybe sometime in May. 3 or 4 hour workshop. What it would give me, give others that want to time to actually look through the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be nice if people would come to the meeting with an idea, okay. Here's how we might chop it up, move it around. And if 4 people have the same chop it up ideas, okay, we got it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think would be good for us to put in that personal work time and try to help really revise the document. I think everybody seems to recognize that you could use substantial review.
When I opened it and started scrolling, the first thing I always look at is, as I scroll, how far is the bar move?
Yeah.
Because it's just my brain's way of saying like, how long am I gonna be here?
like,
And I was like, oh, no. No. This
And
thing
there's,
can't
like,
move.
12 more appendices that aren't in this document.
It's not going to be approved. Put it into an improvement.
Yeah, because it's what I would call substantial revision.
Yeah.
So it's up to us, I think, to make it as readable as possible.
Yeah, I mean, they approved this one,
Well, it's the normal people.
yeah,
How many do you think actually read all of it before they were just like, I'm good?
yeah, no one,
I think everybody.
they heard that
We're good.
you guys approved it and worked on it and they're like, sounds good.
Mhm. Pretty much so.
That's why there's layers of approval. They trust the board, so. All right, well,
Try someplace sometime in May to see if we can get.
if there's anything else here.
That sound reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we go ahead and look on dates now for May?
Might as well.
That'd be the smart move.
Yeah, it's basically,
Yeah.
basically.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it's a quick.
Just make sure school's out and summer's in full swing. That way I've got a reason to get out of the park.
Oh, there you go.
So after the 21st.
Kidding.
So that would suggest late May.
I would too.
That sounded a
I'm
good
being-
idea to me.
I'm being televised. I can't.
I don't have anything on my May calendar at this point, so. If anybody has something that.
When was the high school graduation, James?
21st.
21st?
Yeah, 21st.
Or the weekends like the
29th,
29th, 30th, 31st.
Is that,
I thought it's the 25th.
25th
that's
is
the 25th.
Memorial Day.
25th.
Because June 1st is a Monday.
yeah, okay, so.
The week
Yeah.
of the 10th.
Yeah.
I'll be out of the country.
That Wednesday to. Monday's blocked out for me.
Which one?
Memorial Weekend,
Hmm.
we have a 5-day event, we always do in Hilton.
Would you before or earlier in, I don't know, in May, the 7th or something?
18th, 19th, 20th.
Oh, yeah.
Does the day of the week matter to anybody?
Oh, no. Those. That works for me.
I think the 20th, the 21st, the graduation. Anybody tied up with that? James, what is?
What's that?
When's your son graduate?
I'll be kind of, yeah, my
He'll be tied.
son graduated.
On the 21st,
Yay.
I could possibly do it on the 18th,
18th or 19th.
not the, no, 19th. No, Tuesdays are not good.
Okay.
How about the week of the 4th? Is that any better?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's maybe a little more far removed from all those
Be,
festivities.
be fine.
I'll be out of town.
Tourist on there yet.
May the 4th be with us.
Mhm.
You're gonna be out of town
I'll be out of town that week.
the whole week? So what about the next week?
Sonia's,
I'm out of town, from the 10th through the 17th.
The 18th work, I mean, does the 18th really bad?
oh,
Anybody got a bad
Uh-uh.
18?
no,
Back,
Bad 18?
no,
okay,
morning or afternoon?
Good afternoon.
1 o'clock? Is that afternoon enough?
okay.
It'd just be a workshop.
And I don't know the details of setting up a workshop,
Like
that's
till 4 o'clock or something.
sort of a official kind of thing, but it's not
I don't
not
know.
a formal meeting.
Okay. I think one time we did it, but we like had a meeting and then we broke out into a
Yeah,
workshop.
we did.
Right.
I don't know.
So it's somebody's job to figure out how. we have
Okay,
to do
I will
it.
figure that out.
Not mine.
Check on the open meetings.
Now, do we have to have a meeting in which we? Meeting called to order, the meeting adjourned, and go to the workshop.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll find out.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
have a workshop.
Yeah, we may not be able to have a workshop without having a meeting, but whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's,
Call it executive session.
Well, could be, but
I'm kidding.
we would have to lock the doors.
No one in or out.
oh yeah, when we can have a workshop, like Justin can participate. That's why we had the workshop over here that time. We were talking about plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So anybody can participate.
Yeah, so we
So
could
just
invite,
figure out whether we have to
I don't know if we need more opinions, but.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Wouldn't hear you.
Mhm.
But that's us to read through the master plan between now, 18th of May, so we can make our suggestion.
Yeah, I'm putting my calendar 1 to 5.
I might for 12.
I'm not going back. to
Let's
work
try to
after.
get here.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You Get out early.
Okay, well, I think that will be
Yeah.
helpful. So this is gonna be available on that site that you gave us a reference to, so we can all
Yes,
get to it. What format is that in now?
It's in Word.
Okay.
It's real.
If you
Okay.
make edits in that, does it show up here? I didn't change anything, but it looked like that you
Mhm.
can see comments and things like it. It was track change the version. I just didn't know if
Yeah.
it was one of those shared live things
Yeah.
that they do now.
Yes,
It is.
I believe.
I made a comment. but
could-
It just tells me I'm like guest user. It doesn't,
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't log in.
Oh, because it's like our city OneDrive.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you could download, well, we did make some more like just comments earlier. Anyway, you could download it.
Is it too big to break out and send with your most recent edits? So that way we've got something we can toy with without everybody being like, what happened to what I just did? Scott deleted all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that link that I sent you has the comments that we made today. So then you could download it instead of,
Okay.
I guess, right?
So you have now a copy?
It was too big. I couldn't get it to
Yeah.
attach to email.
Download it.
Too many details. I couldn't, it's too big. So that's why I put the link.
Download, make our really make edits on it.
So is it possible for, and you don't have to write it out, just do the outline of
Yeah.
what you're thinking?
Oh, yeah.
You know, how you, cause you and Anderson had thought of how you would revamp it?
Okay.
Just-
Yeah.
Just as we're reading it, so we could know, cause hate spend that much, a whole lot of time.
Suggested new
Yeah.
table of contents or something with the chapters.
Yeah,
Why don't I do like a new page on that and then I can resend you guys the link and make sure that you have the version that has like that on there, maybe
That way
tomorrow.
We can make comments based on what
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're thinking.
Yeah, because I have some other ideas about,
Different directions.
yeah,
Yeah.
Further along, you show up like,
I put it in alphabetical.
Yeah.
This is early March. Why don't we give you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you think.
send
you need.
like a new outline of
Yeah,
how we'll structure
and
it.
so-
Okay.
Put up whatever you're gonna do. I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah,
Put up whatever you're gonna do and then send us, okay, here's our thoughts on the new outline. Now go to work on it.
So it'll be.
Because I'm not
for us
gonna work
to
2 months on
to
this
look
thing
through
anyway.
it,
So.
Find things that
Yeah.
fit your outline. If it's not needed, just delete
it's just Scott thing.
or massage it to fit what you're saying.
yeah, that's true. I
Stuff.
can remove some of the details that we all agreed are not necessary. And create a new outline.
I think that'll be helpful.
Yeah, okay.
You-
Yeah, that's better.
Your first shot at the reorganization and we'll.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll send that in a couple weeks.
And it'll give you time to vet it through Colleen and let her, sulk over all the changes or suggestions.
Don't be scared by.
Be strong.
Yeah,
Tell her we suggested it.
like, hey, I helped you write this. It's fine. What were we thinking? Oh, I'm just kidding.
She can vent to her pastor. It's.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've kind of done what we need to do with that. The master plan revision thing at this point. So we're scheduling ourselves a workshop on the 18th of May to talk about revisions that Ray and Justin are gonna give us in 2 or 3 weeks. And we'll have a meeting in June in which we might be able to, that's a little, too aggressive. Too optimistic, that's all. That's what I'm looking for. Word up. Okay. Our final item is, any, member comments or any items, future consideration that you want to put on the next agenda we haven't talked about. Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Okay,
Good work.
thank you, guys. Turning off broadcast.
Oh, yeah, turn this off for that.